What if I told you that Hollywood's highest paid actor was once considered unemployable? Robert Downey Jr., the man who became Iron Man, spent years in prison, battling addiction so severe that no studio would touch him. He was blacklisted, broken, and bankrupt. Insurance companies refused to cover him. Directors who loved his talent couldn't hire him. His career was dead. Then came one phone call that changed everything. This is the shocking true story of the greatest comeback in Hollywood history. And trust me, Tony Stark's journey is nothing compared to the real Robert Downey Jr. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible redemption stories ever told. Robert Downey Jr.'s fall from grace and his miraculous rise to become Iron Man. This isn't just a success story. It's a story about addiction, rock bottom, second chances, and proving that it's never too late to start over. Hit that subscribe button and let's jump in. Robert John Downey Jr. was born April 4th, 1965 in Manhattan, New York. He wasn't just born into Hollywood, he was born into its darkest side. His father, Robert Downey Sr., was an underground filmmaker known for experimental, countercultural movies. At age 5 years old, Robert's father gave him marijuana. This wasn't neglect. His father thought he was being cool, bonding with his son through drugs. It was the 1970s, a different time, but the damage was already being done. Robert started acting as a child, appearing in his father's films. By his teens, he was using drugs regularly, cocaine, heroin, whatever he could find. But he was also incredibly talented. At 20, he joined Saturday Night Live's cast for a season. At 22, he was nominated for an Academy Award for Chaplin, 1992, playing the legendary Charlie Chaplin with such brilliance that critics called him a genius. Hollywood was at his feet. He had the looks, the talent, the charm. Everyone predicted Robert Downey Jr. would become the biggest star of his generation. They were right, but not the way anyone expected. Throughout the 1990s, Robert's career and addiction spiraled in opposite directions. He was getting amazing roles, natural-born killers, restoration, critical acclaim everywhere. But behind the scenes, he was falling apart. In 1996, police found Robert passed out in his car with cocaine, heroin, and a .357 Magnum handgun. Arrested, released on bail, he promised to get clean. A month later, he broke into a neighbor's house while high and fell asleep in their child's bed. The family came home to find a stranger unconscious in their son's room. Arrested again. The judge sentenced him to rehab. Robert walked out after a few months. He couldn't stop. The drugs had complete control. In 1997, he missed multiple drug tests, violating probation. The judge sentenced him to 6 months in jail. Robert served the time, got out, and immediately relapsed. 1999, arrested again for cocaine possession. This time, the judge had enough. 3 years in prison. Robert Downey Jr., Oscar-nominated actor, Hollywood golden boy, was now California State Prison inmate. He served 15 months at the California Substance Abuse Treatment Facility and State Prison in Corcoran. 15 months in prison, wearing an orange jumpsuit, his career destroyed, his reputation ruined. When he got out in 2000, he was 35 years old, and he was unemployable. Imagine being one of the most talented actors of your generation, and nobody will hire you. That was Robert's reality in 2000-2001. Studios wanted him. He was brilliant on screen, but insurance companies refused to cover him. Hollywood productions require insurance in case something goes wrong. Robert's history meant he was uninsurable. If he relapsed during filming, the production would lose millions. No insurance company would take that risk. Robert was broke. His first wife had divorced him. He'd lost custody of his son. He was living with a friend because he couldn't afford his own place. He'd hit absolute rock bottom. In 2001, he got a small role on the TV show Ally McBeal. The show's creator, David E. Kelley, believed in him. Robert's performance was phenomenal. He won a Golden Globe. Finally, something good. Then he relapsed again. While working on the show, he was arrested for being under the influence in public. He was fired immediately. The character was written out. Hollywood gave up on him completely. Robert later said, "I was at the end. I was terrified. I thought I'd never work again." In 2003, something clicked. Robert met Susan Levin, a producer, on the set of Gothica. She saw past the addict and saw the man underneath. But she gave him an ultimatum: get clean or lose her. This time, Robert chose differently. He chose life. He committed to sobriety with everything he had. Therapy, 12-step programs, meditation, Wing Chun Kung Fu for discipline. He rebuilt himself from scratch. Mel Gibson, who'd been friends with Robert for years, put his own money up to insure Robert for the film The Singing Detective, 2003. When insurance companies wouldn't take the risk, Mel personally guaranteed it. That vote of confidence saved Robert's career. Slowly, carefully, Robert started working again. Small roles, indie films, proving he was reliable. He married Susan in 2005. She became his anchor, his reason to stay clean. By 2007, Robert had been sober for 4 years. He'd rebuilt some trust. He'd proven he could show up, do the work, stay clean. But he was still doing supporting roles, nothing major. No studio would give him a leading role in a big-budget film. Then Jon Favreau called. Marvel Studios was taking a huge risk. They were making Iron Man, their first self-produced film. If it failed, Marvel would be finished. They needed it to be perfect. Director Jon Favreau wanted Robert Downey Jr. for Tony Stark. When he suggested it, Marvel's executives thought he was insane. Robert was a former drug addict, fresh out of prison, unreliable, uninsurable. They said no, but Favreau saw something nobody else did. Tony Stark was Robert Downey Jr., a genius who destroyed his own life and had to rebuild. An arrogant man who learned humility through suffering. A brilliant person who'd hit rock bottom and clawed his way back. Favreau fought for Robert. He convinced Marvel to take the risk. The studio agreed, reluctantly, but with strict conditions. Robert's salary was only $500,000, tiny for a lead role, and there were penalties if he relapsed. Robert didn't care about the money, he just wanted the chance. Iron Man started filming in 2007. Robert threw everything into Tony Stark. He improvised lines. He brought depth and humor. He made Tony Stark real, flawed, damaged, brilliant, human. When Iron Man premiered in May 2008, it was a phenomenon. Critics loved it. Audiences loved it. The film made $585 million worldwide. Robert Downey Jr., the unemployable addict, was suddenly the biggest star in the world. And he was just getting started. Marvel had a plan. Build a cinematic universe. Robert became the foundation. He appeared in Iron Man 2, 2010, $623 million. The Avengers, 2012, $1.5 billion Iron Man 3, 2013, $1.2 billion Avengers, Age of Ultron, 2015, $1.4 billion Captain America, Civil War, 2016, $1.1 billion Spider-Man Homecoming, 2017, Cameo, Avengers Infinity War, 2018, $2 billion, Avengers Endgame, 2019, $2.8 billion. Over 11 years, Robert appeared in 10 Marvel films. His movies grossed over $14 billion worldwide. He became the highest paid actor in Hollywood, earning $75 million for Avengers Endgame alone. The man who couldn't get insured for $500,000 in 2007 was making $75 million per film by 2019. When Tony Stark sacrificed himself in Avengers Endgame, saying, "I am Iron Man," before snapping away Thanos, millions of people around the world cried. Not just because Tony Stark died, because Robert Downey Jr.'s journey ended. From prison inmate to the hero who saved the universe. From unemployable addict to Hollywood's biggest star. From rock bottom to the very top. Today, Robert is 59 years old and over 20 years sober. He's married to Susan with 3 children. He's won countless awards, including a Golden Globe and an Oscar for Oppenheimer 2024. He's produced films, started charities, and used his platform to help people struggling with addiction. His estimated net worth is over $300 million. But more importantly, he has his life back, his family, his dignity, his second chance. Robert Downey Jr.'s story isn't just about success. It's about the fact that your past doesn't define your future. That addiction doesn't make you worthless. That rock bottom can be the foundation you rebuild on. He spent years in prison. He was blacklisted by Hollywood. He lost everything: money, family, respect, career. Everyone gave up on him. But he didn't give up on himself. With help from people who believed in him, Susan, Mel Gibson, Jon Favreau, Robert rebuilt his life one day at a time. And when he got his chance, he didn't waste it. This Iron Man wasn't just a role. It was Robert proving that redemption is possible, that second chances matter, that you can fall as far as humanly possible and still rise again. That's the real Robert Downey Jr. From prison to Iron Man, from addicted to recovered, from hopeless to unstoppable. His story proves that no matter how far you fall, no matter how many times you fail, it's never too late to start over. What's your favorite Robert Downey Jr. moment? Iron Man or one of his other incredible roles? Drop it in the comments. If this story inspired you, smash that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe and hit the bell for more incredible Hollywood stories. Remember, your lowest point can become your launching pad. It's never too late to become the hero of your own story. See you in the next one.